Going on, everybody? This is Chris Classic dropping a car vlog. Hope you guys and gals are having a wonderful day. Nobody tells you, remember that God loves you, Christ loves you, and I love you as well. A lot of people have their own definition and terminology of what love is, but even in the word it says that God is love. Love is a thing of actually love, agape, also discipline, also preparedness, also teaching. Sometimes we are taught things that we don't like or we'll disagree with, but we know that they'll come. We'll know that family and friends will pass away, and we have a date that we may pass too. But even though we know that and we may prep for it, it doesn't mean that it's not going to hurt. It doesn't mean that it's not going to be painful. It doesn't mean that we won't go through trials and tribulations. I mean, Christ himself went through trials and tribulations, even though he had a mission on this earth, right? He had anguish just like we do about certain things. He had emotions just like we did. So these are things to think about when we do read the word. Don't just go off of what other people say. I mean, the Bible is free certain places, and you can, if you got the phone, you can actually use the word and read the word and understand certain things. So remember that, and God bless. What's going on, Raphael? God bless. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, the Take It Home podcast, where I talk about professional wrestling topics, and I put up my Matches as Classic Alpha, professional wrestler of 13 years. Yesterday, I put up my match against Joey Blues, so make sure you look at that match. It was a great match. It was fun. Watch, subscribe, comment, talk about the match, what you liked about the match, and everything like that. Did you like anything about it or whatever? Just leave it in the comments. Make sure you also subscribe to C3 Ultimate Wrestling. That is me and my wife's professional wrestling company. You can watch all of our previous shows from the previous years and even this one to enjoy the stories and the great matches, and the great wrestlers are there. There are a lot of great wrestlers in C3 Ultimate Wrestling, and it wouldn't be possible without them. Make sure you also get tickets for Big Business, February 21st, 2026, first show of C3 Ultimate Wrestling's year. Tickets are on sale now on Eventbrite. They are $5 off. There'll be $5 more at the door. It will be at Harold's Private Venue in Dyer, Indiana. 2,000 subs. 2,000 subs. And I am not talking about Jersey Mike subs. I am not talking about Subway sandwiches. I'm not talking about Panera Bread. 2,000 subs. We have hit 2,000 subs. 2,003 as of a few minutes ago. I checked. 2,000. Thank you guys. I'm grateful. I try to keep the same energy of when I had 100 subs, and then went to 500, then went to 1,000, and 1,500. Now we had 2,000. It's difficult to get subscribers sometimes. Sometimes you can have a video, you can get thousands of views and stuff like that and only have like 10 subs. That's just how it is. Some people have a thing where they don't want to sub at all. They'll type in the name. I do this too, being very transparent. I do that sometimes too. It'd be like, man, I don't know if I want to sub, but I'll type in their stuff and I'll look at whatever content they have. I don't know why. It's just a habit. I don't know why. But still, I'm grateful for 2,000 subs. Some videos have thousands of subs. Some have dozens of subs. Some may even have single. But I'm just grateful that ever since the Take It Home podcast has happened, and it's a thing that people not only listen to what I'm saying, but they also chime in, especially with these lives and things like that. And I try to interact as safely as possible. So I think it's a beautiful thing that we got here to 2,000. And yes, I'm saying we. I'm not just saying me, because some people have brought up topics for me to speak about. Some people have had questions that they've asked me and I've responded to. Some people have given me ideas to make videos and stuff. So that's why I say we. And I'm grateful for that. The wrestling community is also a we. Like what the WWE, the WWE, heck, you can say it that, or AEW, or anything, C3. These give me things to talk about, regardless if I like it or I don't. I spazzed out yesterday. So thank you. I appreciate you guys. Imagine God have a wrestling company called Heaven's Wrestling Federation. That would be something. I know, like, when a wrestler passes away, especially one that's very popular, they'll be like, oh, well, they're wrestling with the greats in heaven and stuff like that. The Pipers, your Andres, the Macho Mans, and the Eddies. Like, a lot of people say, like, okay, they're doing something. That would be a sight to see. What's going on? What's going on? Is it Rena? If I don't say your name right, please forgive me. I can't look at the phone too long because I'm driving. Mr. Skate, Kid Cass, what's going on? Wowzers. Anyway, we're here to talk about wrestling, guys. Once again, we're definitely here to talk about wrestling. So if you saw anything inappropriate, especially because not only are we here talking about wrestling, I am happily married. And what we're not going to do is we're not going to do anything to disrespect me, nor my wife, nor my family. So God bless with what you guys are saying and stuff. Like I said, please be respectful in the chat. And also, they may have kids that's actually like listening to this kind of stuff. So chill out, y'all. Yeah, that would be great. That's a WrestleMania for heaven. Man, for sure. But 2,000 subs, like I said, like you'd probably hear me say the same thing as when I had 1,500 and when I had 1,000, when I had 500. Just thank you guys. It's just gratitude. And what I plan to do is I just plan to continue to do what got me to 2,000 subs. Speak about wrestling, talk about things, upload my matches and stuff like that, promote C3 Ultimate Wrestling with that. That's a channel, obviously. I want to have as much subs as this one. I have 200 and I want to say 18 subs on C3 Ultimate Wrestling, and I'm grateful for that because it is difficult to get thousands of subscribers for wrestlers. Wrestling channels, wrestling exclusive channels is very, very difficult because people will look at video. I got videos that got thousands of views and hundreds of views and stuff like that, and only have 200. And I'm grateful for that 200 and something, right? Some people don't even have that, but I'm grateful for that. So trying to also push that. So if you are a fan of great wrestling and great action, please go to C3 Ultimate Wrestling channel. It says C3 Ultimate Wrestling in blue, and it is surrounded by a blue circle. Make sure you subscribe to that, not only for just the matches, but for the promos and for interviews. I've interviewed some of the guys that's in C3, guys that want to be in C3, guys that I'm very, very cool with. I've interviewed people. If you guys want that to happen, we'll see, because usually Yellow, Kevin Young Sr. is the guy that is part of C3, does the interviews and stuff like that. And shout out to him as well. Make sure you subscribe to his channel too, Shooting from the Script. And Critically Drinking. Arshawn. Shout out to Arshawn and everything he continues to do. I appreciate that, Robert Brown. I remember in the chat, Lafayette in the building, man. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. And I see like Raphael, he, like almost every time I something on, he's responding and stuff. You got your opinions. We may agree or disagree, but it's all love here. You know what I'm saying? It's all love. Thank you for the congrats. Thank you. Like I said, man, it's definitely difficult to even get a lot of subs and stuff. Like, you can literally go to 100 people and say, hey, will you sub? And then they say, yeah, then you will still leave and only have like 5. And, you know, it's funny, but it's not funny. But that's just how it is. Like I said, I'm guilty of it, too. I'm going to definitely try to get in the habit of subbing more. Especially if it's content that I like or things that I like look at and I, you know, react to and stuff like that, you know. Don't see nothing like really wrong with it. But I also think that even with me, another reason why I don't sub a lot is because I have a lot of subs that I sub to, and what you don't want is an oversaturation of stuff. Not oversaturation, but so much stuff on your timeline, on your YouTube homepage, that you may forget to look at something else. So I think I can understand why some people don't. That's why I don't sometimes, because it's just like I don't want to. And sometimes if you watch enough of something, it'll show up on your homepage like recommend this or something. So hopefully that's just one of those things, and that's things that we can just work on for the future. 2,000. I'm thankful. Thank you guys. I give honor to God for, you know, wouldn't be possible without him. It wouldn't be possible without you guys. So I thank you. I thank him for giving me a platform and an opportunity the way I did, because you guys know Taking On Podcast happened because I had an injury. And also I was going live a lot speaking about wrestling, and then a lot of the wrestlers, my peers and stuff, would encourage me to speak about certain things. Like, man, we need to do stuff like this. And it transitioned from Facebook to YouTube. Now I need to get back on multicasting. I believe I said this last time too. Need to go back into multicasting so I can put you guys' comments and concerns and stuff together so I can speak about it. But I am grateful. Thank you guys. Celebratory sip. Yes, y'all know what it is. Mountain Dew Baja Blast with the tropical lime. Shout out to Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew, bring back Whiteout. Bring back Whiteout. Bring back Thrashed Apple. Thrashed Apple was pretty good too. Bring it back, please. Please bring those back. Those was good. Whiteout was fire too. Whiteout was very, very good. Major Melon was decent. Like, I'm a Mountain Dew connoisseur, if you guys don't know, but still. Awkward silence. Anyway, what are your thoughts on the current wrestling Trump administration? Well, let's speak about wrestling, brother. Let's speak about wrestling. I don't want to speak about politics. I think, honestly, it's not a good thing to speak about. On either side, if you're anti, if you're for, it's just not a good thing to talk about, especially like on a wrestling platform. I try to keep it more towards wrestling. So respectfully, I don't want to respond to that. But I hope all is well with you. Second thing I wanted to talk about, world champions. I do think that gets thrown around a lot, and not only in the main companies, but also the independent scenes. So you see the thumbnail of this video, AEW Tony, he shared a video saying that AEW has 4 world champions. So Samoa Joe, who is the AEW world champion and also a trios champion, Bandito, who is the ROH champion, Takeshita, who's the New Japan champion, and also Claudio Castagnoli, who's the CMLL world champion. World champion. I think it gets thrown around a lot. I do. I think it gets thrown. It gets thrown out a lot, and this is why I say it's too many belts. Like, even with WWE, they literally have 2 world champions. Now, one may not be called the world champion, but it's undisputed. The other one is the world heavyweight. I guess they both have world. Now, world, that means that you defend it around the world, along the world, and stuff like that. So I can understand the world part. But usually, when you say you're the world champion, that means it's the top belt. So now Tony is saying that he has 4 champions. That's the top belt in 4. Then the other companies, he has his hand in it, and obviously he has certain. I don't want to say he has creative control, but he does have an influence on how certain things go. So I can't even say, oh, well, I just respect that he says it's world champions when he has his hand in a cookie jar in 2 of them, and he owns the other 2. You know what I'm saying? I think that's kind of weird. I think it's weird. But I understand what you're trying to say. You know, with that logic that they're using, Claudio is a 3-time world champion. Now, that sounds weird because a lot of people either like him or hate him. I think Claudio is pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? I think he's pretty good or whatever like that. But, you know, a lot of people are like, man, he should have been a world champion. Now, under AEW's banner, he's a 3-time world champion. He's won the ROH championship twice, and he's won the CMLL. So that's a world champion. You know, that's what they call it. Now, some people are going to be like, BS. You know, that's because Tony is this and Tony is that. I'm not going to understand it. Excuse me. Because it's just like the same thing with WWE. Do people consider the NXT championship a world championship? I don't think they do. PWI did not recognize TNA's championship for a while because that's crazy. At first they did. They recognized TNA's or Impact, whatever you want to call it. We're going to lump them both together. They considered it a world championship when Sting and when Kurt Angle and when Jeff Jarrett and AJ Styles, when they was winning it and stuff. But as soon as they lost their big TV deal and they was going on Twitch and they was going on certain things, even before that, they was like, they didn't recognize it as one. But then when they started picking stuff up, they was like, oh, well, now we're going to recognize it. I'm like, man, y'all should have stayed recognizing it because it's only one belt. It's only one belt. Now these other companies have like 2-3 belts, but still, I thought that was kind of whack. I know the African Diaspora Championship is considered a world championship through the PWI and stuff like that. I know that Bishop Khan has it, so shout out to him. But still, even with that, it's just not even with his championship run, but it's just the fact that a lot of things is just like a world champion. You know, just because it's on TV doesn't technically mean it's a world champion. You know what I'm saying? This is what I keep saying about that there's too many belts. There's too many belts. Too many belts. You got these guys, and you know what I would do is, if I was to do that and promote that, I would have all 4 of these guys go against each other and say who's the top champion. Obviously, I'd have the AEW World Champion do it just to show how important it is. But that's me. That's my business side. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, Alec? Doing good. How you doing? But still, world champion. Like, you know, you can say, hey, Claudio is a world champion. You know, Bandito, I think he's like a 2 or 3-time ROH champion. Samoa Joe, I believe he's a 3-time world champion, if you're considering, but he's also a ROH world champion. So, you know, a lot of people lump their world championships, and usually world, when you use world means the top championship. Not that it's defended across the world, but it's the top championship, which is crazy because this is going to switch over to even the independent scene on the wrestling. Is that like a lot of people be like, well, we don't call our belt world because it's only defended in the U.S. It's not defended nowhere else. Nobody's defending it in Europe, Asia, and other countries and stuff like that in the continents. They're not defending them there, so they don't consider that. Good. God bless you too. God bless you too. So even then, that's a good topic to bring up too. That's a good thing to think about as well. Is be like, hey, like, you know, why is an independent company calling this a world championship when it's not defended in other parts of the world? It's a part of the world, but I guess you can even say that. Even then, but I know that there's belts in the future that's going to be considered world championships, and I can't wait for that. But even then, heavyweight. Heavyweight is also used as like the top belt of a company, right? Especially in wrestling, like world heavyweight or heavyweight champion and stuff like that. And some people have people who aren't even heavyweight people. They're cruiserweights or they're lightweight. They're all everything light heavyweight, but heavyweight usually signifies like the top title. Joseph Alcredited, the C3 Ultimate Wrestling heavyweight champion. That's what he calls himself. He calls himself the world heavyweight champion. And I don't mind that because I grew up believing that the heavyweight championship was the top championship. Not the cruiserweight, not the intercontinental, not the tag, not the hardcore, not the United States, not the national, not none of that, if anything. But I do know that most companies now, they're changing it to world, or they're just saying the company's name, like C3 Wrestling Champion or C3 Ultimate Wrestling Champion. You know, I've had people call it heavyweight before, and that's definitely fine. You know, I grew up with the aesthetic, the old school aesthetic, that heavyweight title is the top title over everything, right? World title, I know some call it the world title, but still, I think that even now, everything is considered a world title. You're the top champion, you're in the world title. So basically, Bandito is the champion of Ring of Honor, Samoa Joe, All Elite, Takeshi, the New Japan, Claudio, CMLL in Mexico. And that's, I don't know, I don't want to say it's cringy, but it's just weird because it's like we know that Tony has his fingers in the cookie jar to these other companies. So it's just like, okay, of course he had a heavy influence for these guys to be champions and stuff. Because even when like Tony was working with like TNA and NWA, like he had influence on how certain things. He didn't want his wrestlers to look bad. And honestly, from a business standpoint, I'm not even really that mad at that. But at the same time, when it comes to like having champions and stuff like that, it's just like, okay, like these people are champions. Like even like it's bad enough they have so many belts. Like I know that Willow and Harley, they just won the women's tag belts, and they're the inaugural women's tag belts. And I'm like, it's already too many belts. Now women have the TBS, they have the AEW, they have the ROH, they have the TV. They have so many belts. There's so many belts, and Tony was like, let's get some more. Like, I ain't even like when WWE made women's tag belts. 5 belt tops. Even then, I would even say 4. Let's see, C3 has 4 sets of belts. We have 2-hour shows. We have 4 sets of belts. We have the C3 Ultimate Wrestling Champion, Joseph Alcredited. We have the Urban Coach, which is Marcelo Spade. We have the women's, which is Renee Van Peebles, and then we have the tag, which is ARC. And I think that's fine. I personally think that's fine. I don't think, maybe if you want to use something like a Money in the Bank or something, because we used to do something called a Grand Chance, and that was like if you win your match, you could challenge anybody, anywhere, anytime for their belt or any match that you want to do. So we aspect, so that's even fine. But I don't need like extra other belts and stuff like that. Like I said, I'm a being an independent wrestler. I remember I wrestled one company. The whole dude had a whole body bag of belts. For what? TV champion, YouTube champion, cruiserweight champion, Indiana champion, Illinois champion, the building champion, the venue champion. It was so many belts. I'm over exaggerating, but it was a lot of belts. The media, the this and that. People say the TV championship or the media championship. That's the belt that's defended on YouTube, where people can look at it. But it's just so many belts. It's just so many belts. And now it's to the fact that we can say that AEW employs 4 world champions. Does that sound right? AEW has 4 world champions. And on the men's side. On the women's side, they have 2, I believe. Yeah, I believe it's 2. It's Chris has a record. She's continuing her record. She's been the ROH Women's Champion for 3 years. 3 years. That's definitely impressive. I don't know. I forgot how long Roman had it, but I think that's longer than what Roman had. But shout out to her. I mean, they're finally letting her on AEW television when they should have been letting her on television. Y'all let the ROH champion, all these other ROH champions show up on television, and she's just been on there for about a year. She should have been on it. Like, what is wrong? Like, that's another story. Definitely another story, but still, it's a lot of belts, man. And it's a lot of companies. It's not just mainstream. It's independent shows. They have so many belts and stuff like that, and it's just like, to me, belts become like participation trophies. And like I said, if that's a good thing at AEW. If you consider it a good thing, then like if you sign there, most likely if you do work hard, you will get an earning of a championship belt, especially if it's in your heart, in your hometown. Roman had it for 1,300, so it's almost 4 years. Okay, I wouldn't even be surprised, honestly, the way AEW does things, especially like in a lighter competition. They'll probably have her be that champion. They'll probably have her beat that reign. They'll probably do that because that's just how they do certain things with a certain situation. I mean, I'm not mad at it. I mean, some people will remember it, and then some people will be like, "Oh, well, you guys just doing it so y'all can like beat Roman's reign." That was the bar right there. But still, it is what it is. I mean, I don't watch ROH. I don't watch it. So, the biggest thing from ROH that I've heard outside of Athena winning, having a belt for so long is, obviously Red Velvet beating Mercedes Moné, because so many people was excited. And it's sad because they wasn't excited that Red Velvet actually won. They was excited because they don't like Mercedes Moné and she lost one of her titles. They was more excited about her losing the title than that person that actually won it. And that's the thing about the IWC, which is kind of crazy, because y'all probably wasn't even looking at the ROH TV championships and stuff like that until Mercedes had it. Then when she had it, now y'all was upset because y'all don't like her. Y'all just don't like her. Y'all can't even name 10, not y'all, is y'all my audience, but some of y'all can't even name some of the belts. Probably could name 5 belts she has without looking at it. It's the truth, though. It's the truth. Speaking of the truth. But still, yeah, I just wanted to speak about that just briefly. I didn't want to speak about it like for a long time, but still. Once again, excuse me, thank you guys for having us meet the goal of 2,000 subscribers. Like I said, more wrestling content. Try to put up more matches. Hopefully everything works out for next week. I hope you guys and gals have a wonderful day. This is Chris Classic. Let's take it home.